All right, Beck.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
What? I missed something.
Did you not see the tripod just like unclipped and fell down and reclipped? You have a ghost.
I'm gonna go make sure that everything looks good.
It only went down a
That's
little
not
bit.
camera view, ghost. And as the intro once again fades out, we welcome you back to another episode of the My Opinion Does Not Matter podcast. I am with my co-host, Melissa. It is great to see you again.
Lovely to see you.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm all right. You want to know what's pissing me off today?
What is pissing Melissa off today?
I stopped at my tattoo shop on my way here because I have a small tattoo that I want to get. And I walked in and I saw one of my friends. First of all, didn't recognize me, fucking masks. But I was like, hey, like, when do you think you can get me in for a tattoo? Like, it's just small, you know, I only go to one artist. And he's like, yeah, May. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, stimulus and tax time and like, I just want a tattoo, okay? I just need to feel something. And y'all...
I just need to feel something.
I just need to feel something.
I finally just got the back of my arm done. I'm not sure if I showed you that one yet, because I didn't post that one on social media.
Ben, no, I
but
didn't see it.
Mainly because my dad's a hardcore judger when it comes to me spending money on my tattoos. He doesn't listen to the show, so it's okay that I say this. Almost every single tattoo that I've gotten, I've lied to him about how much I paid for it. I think I've told him that I've gotten like 3 or 4 of these for free, just so he wouldn't yell at me. But like, yeah, they're having a special. My artist loves me, and he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm trying to practice or whatever. I'll do it for free. And he's like, okay. He just fucking believes it. But I probably spent like $3,000 total on tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Roughly, maybe a little bit less than that. Like over the course of the years, the ribs was like $600. So we don't count that one. My arm cost about a little over $2,000.
I think the most I've paid for a tattoo is like $250 because I really do get them for free.
Yeah, but you have certain benefits that people
like
me
work at
do
the
not
shop.
have.
No. I worked at the shop, and so I got paid in tattoos. I one time spent 40 out of 48 hours with my tattoo artist. I earned those tattoos, you motherfucker.
Oh my god, that is absolutely hilarious.
So that's what's pissing me off today. Other than that, I'm good.
I gotta get the rest of my arm done. I'm nervous because I gotta get in the inside of my elbow done, and I am
elbow ditch.
I'm so looking forward to that because I've heard just excellent things about how that heals.
Elbow done though?
I don't.
Like your actual elbow? No, you don't.
No, I don't. I have a little bit on it, but not like my elbow. It's not quite. He didn't quite get there yet. But what he's gonna do is because I'm getting the cross on my bicep covered up. He's gonna turn it into something. Basically, I told him, I said, just make it look cool. I don't care what it looks like. Like, just make it look less like a black cross on my bicep. And which I told him, I said, don't like be offended because he did it. So I was like, it's not a bad tattoo. It's not quite my thing like it used to. You know, he's like, oh yeah, no problem. I get it, bro. So he's drawing something up for that one, and then he's doing the inside of my elbow, and then he's gonna basically go around to the extra skin area, I guess, including the elbow, and he's gonna basically, because all my pieces weren't done in one cohesive sleeve. It's like it's like 13 pieces into one sleeve. So he's gonna basically tattoo it to where it's meshed into one.
Yeah.
So that's and then my arm will finally be fucking done. Which my arm is done with the abuse.
Like my legs are just like all sorts of just random pieces.
Like I got one good base piece for the arm, and then just a bunch of like other ones. You know, and then eventually I'm gonna get my hands done too. But that's probably gonna be in my 30s.
I have my ring finger tattooed.
Well, that's a small one. You can put a little bit of makeup there and no one will ever know.
Okay, I'm not doing that.
I'm just saying, if people really had an issue with it, it's a little easier.
I want like full hand tattoo. Like I literally have always said like I want from here. If you're watching, you'll see. But like under, neck? I want my whole neck all the way down. Like I want
the neck makes me nervous
because like, my face,
needles near my throat just makes me nervous. Maybe that's just me.
Maybe they'll kill me. Like
But it's true. Maybe I'll die. Either way.
She died getting tattooed. Okay,
we can discuss
I'm good.
we can negotiate a little bit here. I get a tattoo or I die. I don't see you lose.
I mean, I die while getting tattooed. I'm game for that. It's cool. She died doing what she loved. It's cool. I'm good.
No, I'm the neck. The only thing I would do for my neck is if I got like, because this thing is gonna go up to my neck and it's gonna have like a little part here, but I don't think I would do my throat. I think I would just get something just because that just makes me nervous. Maybe when I get older I won't give a fuck, but right now I'll get my hands done first. And if I'm okay with how that feels, then maybe I'll do my neck.
Oh my god, the fingers fucking hurt. It feels like someone is taking a fucking razor blade.
Yeah,
and
the finger. Just like, oh, this feels really great.
This is great. I love it.
Dude, this one's gonna be. I know everyone fucking gets one of these, but it's gonna be a realistic skull. But I want to make it a little bit different.
I was gonna say it's either a skull or a rose. Man.
It's true, but the teeth are gonna be on my knuckles.
Oh.
So when I do this, his teeth are gonna like jangle and shit, and I'm just like, see, it makes it a little different than a normal. Just give me the skull on the hand, bro. No, I'll put the teeth right here on the knuckles. So I'll do one of these, and his teeth will just be moving and shit. Like I don't know. To me, that just sounds really cool. So I'll definitely get it on my fingers, but I don't know if I'll get anything on the upper parts of my fingers because I don't know if there really will be a need for it unless he puts the other sets of the teeth. The bottom layer could be right there. Maybe I'm not sure how he's gonna want to do it.
Knuckle
but
tats.
It's gonna look cool. And this one, it's gonna all be because this is not just gonna be one little piece like piece. It's gonna be an entire horror sleeve.
That's what I'm doing too.
So it's gonna be from my hand, which I think I'm gonna make it the Hellraiser, like the portal box. I'm sorry, horror fans, I can't remember what it's called, but the box that he has that releases, whatever. That's gonna be opened and it's gonna kind of be like the portal to all of the out. Exactly. So that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do for that off my left hand.
I have a whole design. I have a whole sleeve designed for a horror sleeve
excited.
Of like
it's gonna be so much fun.
portraits of everybody. Like I'm talking like.
Okay, so that's a good start to the which portraits are you getting for your horror sleeve? Because I might be getting some that are different than yours. So this is a good discussion. What are you getting? What is them?
I guess this is what we're talking about.
If you want to say.
Yeah, no, of course. So there's like very specific ones that I absolutely have to have, and like if you know me, you know I have to have these ones. So I have to have Pennywise.
Okay.
But I have to have Tim Curry Pennywise because. Of
course. Don't get me wrong. Skarsgård did great, but Tim Curry is
I haven't
OG.
even seen it. You know why? Because Tim Curry is my man. I love him.
It's real good, man. It's most fans would agree.
Tim Curry.
They're different. They're different, obviously.
Then why do I want to watch it?
The Skarsgård one is. I mean, you could look at it. They're a little more of modern day horror. So you put a little bit more scares in it. He's a little scarier, I think. In a few different ways, the CGI that they can add to him with the different creatures he turns into certainly helps. But I think him just as the character, his voice,
so fucking terrifying about the original though, is because like they didn't have all that stuff and it was still fucking terrifying.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I'm not disagreeing with you there. Tim Curry is OG. He is the guy. He is 100%. I have no issue with that one.
Fun fact: he was so creepy on the set. Like, people were so creeped out by him that they wouldn't talk to him.
I just spilled my coffee all over myself. That's okay. Go on.
He was so, like, he got so into it, and people were so creeped out by him that, like, people would not talk to him on set. Like, and that's just my ideal man. Like, I mean, I just...
I feel like there's a few other characters that I've heard similar things for. I want to say
Jared Leto.
I think Jared Leto's Joker was the same way.
The worst Joker.
There was he was in the new Justice League. He had a brief, and it's actually pretty good.
Okay, we'll get there. So
we'll get there.
Tim Curry's it. I have to have Hannibal Lecter because Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Of course.
I love him.
Oh.
I love him so much. He's just. Did you know that he plays piano and like he has
I love Anthony Hopkins.
Like he has a fragrance line where he has like candles and like cologne and perfume that benefits No Kid Hungry.
No, I did not know that. That's actually pretty cool, though.
He's an angel of a man. I just love him. So I have to have that. And then I have those two, and then now my brain is not going to work. I want Jigsaw.
Okay, that one I can agree with you on for sure.
I have to have Jigsaw.
I'll be getting him for sure.
And then I want to have Norman Bates.
Ooh, I didn't think about that one.
I'm an old school person.
I didn't think about Norman Bates. That's a good one.
Because
that's a good one.
So for the people that don't watch horror movies, Psycho, like the original Psycho. Yeah. Norman Bates, absolutely love him. I'm that weird person at work. Like I change my wallpaper on my computer every time I have to call IT. Because every time I have to call IT, they always have to like remote in. So I always have a different horror character. And they're always like, "Hi, Melissa, who is it today?" And I'm like, Leatherface. So yeah, so I also want Leatherface. I think.
Which version? There's like 30.
I know, that's the problem. I'm not sure yet. But I don't know. So we're kind of like piecing those together, and then I want to do like. For like the in between, because you can't like do a bunch of portraits together, because then it's gonna like get messy and meh.
You gotta fill some space,
right? So I want to have like Freddy's glove, but like in like a smaller
your ideas almost is so similar to mine. I'm telling you, it's so crazy.
But like I just want to have so like a couple other, just other little horror things that like when you look at them, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I know exactly what that is. Like, I'm gonna have Tim Curry here as Pennywise, but like down here, I'm gonna have like the red balloon.
Yeah.
And that red balloon is going to be the only color that is in the whole sleeve.
Ooh,
because anyone who knows me knows that I don't get colored tattoos. Yeah. I have one, it's a honeybee, or it's a little bee semicolon that's made into a bee. My mom and I have it matching, and it's got the little bit of blue and the little bit of yellow, and that's it.
Right.
Other than that, everything I have is black and gray. So I want to have that one red balloon and that be like the only color. But yeah, I have it all planned out. I'll see if I can find it somewhere.
Okay.
But horror.
My original idea was to do
so I probably wouldn't
my original idea was to do 30 different horror movies, and for it to be I had a whole list of the 30 movies I was going to do, like I'm like, and which some of it was going to be an actual like face. Some of it was just going to be like an artifact, like for example, the Book of the Dead from Evil Dead, like for example, or maybe even something simple like if you guys have ever seen Drag Me to Hell, The Button, like even something super small that only if you know the movie, be like, is that from that was my original idea, but instead I've changed it to something that actually kind of turned into what you're doing, where it's going to be I'm gonna have 6 main portraits, and then I'm gonna do like maybe like 15 to 20 small artifacts that are good from 15, 20 other movies that are going to be around, right? And basically just filling off the space. So it's basically it's something similar to yours. My 6 were Jigsaw for sure. Jigsaw was the reason why I love horror movies. Like that was the first movie that when. Oh, this is all just Hollywood. This is all just stories. Like this is not actually going to come at me when I go to sleep at night, because there's no way this would actually in my head when I first there's no way this could actually happen. I realized at that point
that could actually happen.
Right. Older I got, the more I'm like, oh no, the world is that insane. It could actually
people are fucked.
It could actually happen. But as a little 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy, I was like, oh, this can't be too bad. This is clearly not going to come after me at night. I'm not going to see Jigsaw, in my room late at night. It hasn't happened yet, but if Tobin Bell did come to my house, though, I would actually be really excited. So you can come to my house anytime, Tobin Bell. You're pretty cool. But Jigsaw for sure.
Tim Curry, if you want to show up and when you wore a Rocky Horror Picture Show, my love, I am ready.
She's got different ideas for what she would do with her celebrity than I would do with my celebrity. But that's a different conversation for a different style of podcasting.
We can have that.
That belongs on a couple other podcasts that I listen to, not this one.
I'm gonna need names.
So, one of my favorites, no fucking shame, one of my favorite podcasts out there, just because it's so fucking interesting to me, is Call Her Daddy. Seriously, it is so interesting to me.
Did you?
It is it like I know it's probably mainly for women, but there's some stuff in there that are like a lot of actually interesting advice for guys as well. It's just interesting to me.
So I posted.
It's very informative.
Very
informative.
I posted a comparison on my Facebook, and if like you're not friends with me on Facebook, like if you don't know me personally, you wouldn't have seen it, or if you're on my Snapchat. So I posted a picture of me from 2018, and I had gray hair. My hair was up in like a messy bun. I was in like this tight little black dress with like these strappy little shoes. And then the second picture was me in my work bathroom yesterday with like a ball cap, a fucking pineapple button-up shirt that I definitely got out of the men's section, with like a white undershirt and like jeans and like white Vans. And I was like, oh, the difference 3 years makes, right? So one of my friends like sends me a message on Snap and was like, wow, those look like totally different people. I was like, yeah, I went from, hi, I'm Melissa, to, I mean, you or your girl could call me daddy. It doesn't matter. Like, we can get down. Like,
I'll be a better man than he ever was. I'll
hey!
Like, whatever makes this work.
Like, I'm so, like, fluid in, like, who you need me to be. Like, I will literally be exactly who you need me to be. And I truly believe that that's why significant others are scared of me. But the funny thing is, like, I think they're both scared. Like, in a relationship, like, they're both scared, because I'm just like, I'll steal your fucking bitch, and then I'm also like, but like, your man, I'll steal him too. Like, it's cool, whatever. I really hope my fiance doesn't listen to this episode.
It's all jokes, Matt.
It is. I love you so much, baby.
I promise, don't kill me, please. You're bigger than me. Please don't hurt me. It should be noted that for whatever, like just someone made me think about that as I said that, I was on the film set the other day. For those who don't know, I don't know if I've said this in the podcast yet. I may have earlier, but I don't remember. I'm working on a 6-episode web series. It's not my show, but it's actually the first project that I've ever worked on that wasn't mine, that I was behind the scenes of, which is actually a lot of fun. I'm the assistant director, the casting director. There's like 4 or 5 of us in the whole crew. So anyone who's made student films or made films where you can't hire one person for each individual task, you wear a lot of hats. So I've worn all sorts of different hats. And
I just do makeup.
One of the things that one of the comments I get almost every single time I go there, because anyone who knows me knows I'm a tank top guy. I wear my bandanas. This is a new thing, but the bandanas are here to stay for a while, as long as I have long hair at least. And with my tattoo showing, for what a lot of times I like to sit just kind of like this, and I just and I give off this look that I'm just always ready to fight somebody for whatever reason. Like each time I go there, I'll get asked 2 or 3 times, "Hey man, are you good?" And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And like, you look like you're about to rob us. And I'm like, no. Like, it's just for whatever reason, that style, I never thought about it when I came up with it. I just thought that I just liked the way it looked. You know, whenever I got tattoos, it just like, well, if I'm going to pay this much money for them, especially because my best piece is on my upper arm, like, I'm gonna make sure everybody fucking sees it. Like me getting my rib tattoo was the whole reason why I started taking my shirt off at pools and at the lakes, because I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not a huge fan of what this looks like, but this over here I am a big fan of, and it costs $700. You're gonna fucking look at it, just ignore this part. You know, but
that's where the summertime. That's like, I'm a winter person. I like the winter. I like fuzzy blankets. I like a lot of layers. I always say I like the winter because if I'm cold. Jesus.
Don't swallow your coffee. Sorry. Go on.
You're supposed to swallow, not inhale.
Shit.
But like, if you're cold,
I had to.
If you're cold, you can always put more layers on to get warm, right? Or you could like grab blankets or whatever.
Right. You can only take so much clothes off before it gets inappropriate.
Before it's illegal. I can only take so many articles of clothing off before it's illegal. But. All of my tattoos, literally almost all of, I have my one on my finger, I have one on the inside, and then I have one on my wrist, showing the camera.
I don't know if you can even see that one on the camera.
Exactly.
It's so light.
It's peach. It's literally fucking peach. Other than that, all of my tattoos are from I have one on my side, and then I, like, under my boobs and down. And I say that because I have one, like, right on my sternum. But like, unless I'm in a bathing suit, like, you are not gonna see all of my tattoos. But like the summertime when I pop shorts on, people are like, fuck, I had no idea. And I'm like, yeah, I like pain. What?
I don't wear shorts when it's snowing out.
Right, yeah.
See, I wear tank tops in the wintertime too, though. That's where people also feel like, oh, you're insane. Like you're walking out, it's snowing currently, 25 degrees, you don't have a coat, you're wearing pants, but you're also wearing a tank top. It's like, what's the point? I'm just like, I don't know.
So
I'm fine.
Yeah. You're like the dude that wears like shorts and flip flops in the.
That's my
in the winter.
that's my stepdad. Except he doesn't wear flip flops. If he could, he told me this multiple times that if because I mean his feet are so fucked underneath it, he doesn't feel much underneath anymore.
Callous,
so it was like if it was acceptable to be able to walk around the planet without shoes on, he would. He would never wear shoes.
I would, yeah.
Wintertime doesn't matter. He wears shorts. And no shoes, because when he played soccer, he played in the snow, and he was just used to wearing shorts and slide like he was. Ugh. I guess I can't remember what the position was called, but he was the guy that basically was in charge of getting the ball away from the other person. It was he wasn't he was defense, but he was like an enforcer. So he was like he was always doing the sliding to kick the ball out. So how many times he slid in snow just to kick the ball away from other people? It just doesn't fucking faze him anymore, which is what you know. Which it's always hilarious to see whenever he would go to like church in like middle of January and still be in shorts, and it'd be like no socks. Right. His dad tennis shoes, the ones that are green from all the mowing the lawns. We all know the white Skechers. We all know.
Yeah, we know. I literally became friends with someone at work because I'm sure he's not listening, but when you leave at the end of the night, he always says, stay warm, stay safe. And the reason we became friends was because I don't wear coats. The only time I wear coats is when I'm going to see like my dad or my mom or someone that will be like, why don't you have a coat on?
Someone that will judge me.
Right. Someone that will judge me like vocally, and I will actually like maybe care. But so like every night he's like, stay warm, stay safe, stay warm, stay safe. And I literally one day just looked at him and I was like, dude, I'm in a hoodie. Like, how am I going to stay warm? It's 10 degrees outside. I'm in a hoodie. And he was like, well, I guess stay safe then. I was like, I guess we're friends now. And that is the story of how I became friends with the security guard at work.
That makes a lot of sense.
I somehow have now become friends with well, not all of them, but like a large majority of them. Mm-hmm. And I have many addictions, one of which is a gambling problem. And let me tell you this, Timmy, I've been looking at that a little funny. But like, I want to fucking go to the casino. So I said something. So I'm friends with now multiple security guards and the EMT. And I said something about wanting to go, and all of them are like, okay, like, let's go. And I'm like, it's gonna look really fucking funny when I'm walking in there. I am 5'4", I am 140 something pounds, and fucking, so like Vasi's like my height, built like a brick shit house. Fucking Darius is 6'7", and then there's Ricky, who is like very similar to Vasi, like same type of. Anyway, I'm like, oh, so I'm just gonna be walking in with my own security detail. Like, people are gonna think I'm important.
You gotta make sure you wear sunglasses too, and they all
right.
gotta not be wearing
Put
any.
A hat
so
on.
it's just you. You're just
right. Yeah, I'm important.
No pictures, please. No pictures. People are like, should we take a picture just in case? Maybe we should just take one just in case.
Right. Like, I just. And
hey, I don't know who you are. Get a picture.
But like, to be fair, one thing that I've always wanted to do is I've always wanted to like go on vacation by myself, right? Mm-hmm. And then when I'm coming back, like, I want to be on a plane in like a very fancy dress, right? With like sunglasses on, like first class. Like the one time I'm gonna just fucking blow my load on first class. And like have champagne and have sunglasses on and like have my hair done, be in this beautiful gown, and then just pay a bunch of people to like be waiting for me at the airport, to like be like, oh my god, there she is, oh my god, like paparazzi like taking pictures and everyone just like be there, people with roses and like and me just like walking through like tossing my hair,
just not bothered but bothered at the same time, just
right.
like, oh please, just like, don't take any photos. Let me just make sure this looks good before you do.
But like now that I have all of these friends in security, like I could make it happen because they could like I could just take one of them with me. That sounds weird. I could just take one of them with me. And then, like, as we're coming back, you know, as we're walking in, I'd have, like, the one guy with me. And then the other guys would be waiting to pick me up. And they would come, and then they'd be like, no photos, no photos, no photos.
Stand back, please. Make a path, make a path.
Walking through with my dress and all the drama. Like, that's the one thing that, like, I really want to do.
I've seen a few videos on Facebook or YouTube where people will, like, fake being like a celebrity and just by acting important, and how many people will actually come to them and just take photos because they think that there's like, oh, you must be somebody, so let's just get like, it's like it's actually remarkably easier than I thought it would be. Like, it's very like, all you gotta do is, like I said, just hire a couple people that look like big burly bodyguards, you know, dress in a way that you're trying to be that you're trying to hide from people, like you said, ball cap, sunglasses, darker clothes,
you just
kind of sneak. It's actually not that hard to do. I'm like, that just sounds really fun to try sometime.
Did I tell you that's how I became attractive?
No.
That's a weird thing.
That's how you became attractive?
Okay, so suddenly, everyone wants a piece of Melissa. Fucking everybody. I apparently have a long-distance girlfriend in Pennsylvania now.
Well, that's good to know.
Right? But, like, everyone wants some of this. Like, do you know how many fucking looks I get all day long? Like, suddenly one day I was like, you know what? I am fucking hot. Like, okay, cool. Like, I'm hot now. People are treating me like I'm hot.
Well, yeah, it's the confidence that you give off. You give off, you know, it's, you know, like, it's what they teach us. And I mean, shit, and fucking. When I was in my
confidence is sexy.
What is that class called? Human relations class in high school. Fuck, one of my favorite classes. It came at a great time. Basically, the entire class, most of the class was teaching us about like relationships, and not just relationships, but like, you know,
like personally and professional,
professional friendships. You know, intimate relationships, just everything. Like, you know, family relationships. We learn about everything, and just learning kind of the
Damn, I should have taken that class.
Oh my god, it came right after me. Oh my god, I can't even think of her name anymore. She was right next to Mr. Dralos's room. Shout out Mr. Dralos, love you, man. Great teacher. But
is that on the second floor? Dralos?
No, first floor. He taught economics, and he taught history. He may have not taught economics. Maybe that was one next to him, because there was another guy next to him that taught economics. But he taught history mostly. I think he also taught, like, I don't know, he taught something else too. He's also the baseball coach, I believe, as well. But anyways, but she was. It came at a time also where during that class, me and my ex had broken up. That was her. And it came at the perfect time, because I first breakup. I had no clue how to handle anything. I was just mentally all over the place. And that class actually helped me realize that relationship wasn't really healthy pretty much from the start.
She was a trash can!
Like, but if it wasn't for that class, I might still be a disaster. So shout out to insert teacher's name here. I can't remember your name, but you taught a great fucking class. I'll have to find you at some point, and I'll have to tell my editor, just like throw her name at the bottom of the screen, just bam, right there. But I
mean, I'm pretty sure I have
she was great, but
my yearbook. We could go through all the teachers and see if anyone looks familiar.
If I can even recognize, I blocked out so much of my high school life.
Okay, but that just gives me an excuse to go and look at Mr. Davenport.
I never had Mr. Davenport.
Oh, he was so cute.
Never had Mr. Davenport. What class did he teach? I feel like Cameron had Mr. Davenport.
It was
because I recognize the name. I feel like Cameron had.
Was it chemistry?
That sounds right. I don't know.
I had Mr. Cook for chemistry. I think biology.
Don't hurt yourself too much. It's not worth it.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
It's high school. It's not worth it.
He's really cute. I didn't pay attention.
I blocked out so much of my high school years, which was probably for the best. But I will tell you what, though. I did see this post. I know we're kind of past the tattoo part. We're just past that. That's no big deal. It's fine. You guys are used to it at this point. We just blow past topics and go into new ones.
I literally walked in today. Was like, what are we talking about?
It was supposed to be superheroes.
Yeah,
we'll
we
get into
didn't do
that in a
that.
little bit, but it was supposed to be the whole episode was supposed to be superheroes. So you'll get that in the second half.
But then I went to the tattoo shop, so.
Right, and that's it, and yeah, and it kept going from
Now
there.
I look like a bull.
The
Fuck,
would you go to your which you know what for first this which anniversary would you go to first for your high school? What is the first one you would attend? Like the 10, if there was one, say there's a 10, 15, 20, and 25. Which one would you go to first?
Okay, well, first of all, they're not going to invite me.
Well, let's just say they do. I mean, why wouldn't they invite you? You graduated. You'll probably get an invite. I mean, I guess depends on who's organizing it.
Yeah, like I said.
Which I still don't know who volunteers to organize their high school reunion.
All those
15 plus years later.
All the
who
bitches that
gives a shit
there.
Well, I guess so, man. But like, I just
all the ones that want to.
That sounds like the worst fucking job
it's
to get
all
assigned.
the ones that want to show like how successfully they married. Because like it's never,
that's true.
It's never the person that's doing really well. Like it's never the woman that's doing really well for herself. It's the woman that like too, married someone who did really well.
You don't see many guys planning that unless the guy and the girl were in high school together and they're not married. Maybe they do it together.
Like no, I don't know. I would say because
I would go to my.
We've already been out for
10.
We've already been out for like 6 years. So I mean, I wouldn't have gone to 5 years if they did one. No, I wouldn't have.
No, I don't have enough to brag about yet.
No, it's just way too fucking soon to see many of those.
No,
fuckers,
it's too soon. Too soon.
I would say probably 10 years would put me at 28. I'd want to know if all the hot guys were balding yet. I want to know if all the people that made me miserable are miserable yet.
Shit, I'm balding a little bit, but that's different.
But like, also.
I would freak people out, I think, with how I look.
I would want to go, and I'd say probably 10 years.
10 years, you'd go 10 years? I would consider 10, but I think I would shoot for 15. I think, because I've always had this image in my head of like, man, like, what if I came back, and by the time that I came back to my high school reunion, I actually had, like a platform, and I actually, like, had, like, Gabriel Iglesias talked about his high school reunion and how, like, in high school he was just kind of, the funny guy, the big funny guy, nothing really, whatever. He went to high school reunion as fucking Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy. Right. The guy's obviously a superstar now. He's like, it's a whole nother different world. I'm like, man, that would be really interesting to see. It's gonna be like when Evan goes back. If Evan was to go. Dude. There's a few people that I still stay in contact with who are like, I mean, they're fucking traveling all over the world, not just like, oh, I'm going to go see Utah today, or like, no, they're in France and Italy, and
but I mean, we went to Clarkston.
I mean, I'm like, that's true. I forget
like,
people in Clarkston had money, because I didn't grow up with money, so I forgot that the majority of people in Clarkston have a lot of fucking money. Yeah. And because of that, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, how the hell are you people going? Oh,
like when they talk
about Clarkston, that makes sense.
When they talk about like the class differences. In fucking Clarkston, like, there was, like, us.
No, that's empty.
And there was, like, everyone else. Like, we didn't have money. We did what we needed to do. We got by. We lived comfortably. Like, whatever. We had what we needed.
Periodically. Didn't always live comfortably.
I mean, yeah. But, like, there were people that showed up, like, in brand new fucking cars. Like, the kid that...
Oh, my God.
I drove...
I didn't even get a damn car.
I drove an 84 AMC Eagle Woody wagon. I can guarantee most people listening don't even know what the fuck that is. But Len, I love you, and I know you know what I'm talking about. My dad bought me that car. It was a station wagon. It was fucking beautiful, and it was so old that it was before clear coat. So if you walked up to my car and you, like, rubbed your fingers on it, the paint would come off on your fingers. Like, that pigment would come off, and you would just have to explain why you had brown at the end of your fingertips. But, like... That's funny. I parked that beautiful fucking car next to, like, a brand new fucking Mustang.
No, it's insane. Like, yeah, it's absolutely crazy. My girlfriend, who was a year younger than me, was the one who was driving me places. But again, her family lived in a really good house in Clarkston, and they had a bunch of fucking money. And granted, she also had a job too, but I wasn't able to have a job at that age like she was. But she definitely got a little bit of help as well.
But like, dude that I had a crush on drove a Saab.
A Saab? I'm
like a foreign car. Like,
okay,
I'm not
a huge car guy, so
like
yeah. I know what Mustang is.
Like, fucking, like, you pulled into that parking lot, and there was, like, I bought my car. there was, this is my dad's or my mom's car,
Yep.
or my dad or my mom bought me this car, and then there was the big yee trucks. Like,
oh my God. Oh.
Why?
That's another conversation. Why is
you live in fucking
you're
Clarkston.
You have money. Why are you acting like the world is against you? Like, why are you acting like the whole society? Like, you made it. You made it before you were even born. Why are you coming out?
You literally were born into the best,
the
best possible fucking scenario.
There's so many Yeezys in Clarkston, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
They're annoying as fuck. Because it's like, they're the type of people that fucking walk in with like their jeans and their Carhartt jacket and like fucking cowboy boots that have never seen mud, and it's like,
never.
Ew.
Not
like,
once.
Can you?
Like, I mean, if that's your style, that's cool. But it's one of those things where it's like when you take a style and just incorporate it into your whole personality.
Exactly. It's like Jeep girls or horse girls. And it becomes like their entire personality. Like, I have a problem. I have like manic depression. So when I'm manic, like if I fixate on something, y'all are fucked. Like, that's all you get from me. Like, I literally last year found an artist in July. I was shown Ganja White Night, Pashmina, you know, we talked about it last time, and I'm wearing it again. Found
Only place
them.
you can wear it.
Found them in July of last year. I was in the top 0.05% of listeners on their Spotify last year because I fucking hyper fixated on it, and I was like, I love this shit. This is all I listen to. Oh my god, like hyper fixate on shit.
Yeah.
Like,
so part of you understands, but part of you doesn't understand.
Like, I get it, but also like
There's
have
a limit.
other
There's a line
things
that you don't need to cross, and
right.
They crossed it a long time ago.
And they picked Yee. Of all fucking things to pick, you picked the Yee, motherfucker.
Yep. 100%, man. I've been to a few parties with some Yee folks from Clarkston, and it's not nearly as much fun as I thought it'd be. Let me just start with that. It's mostly a lot of beer, and that's pretty much it. Maybe some beer pong, and then everyone just kind of leaves. Like, it's really not really as exciting.
Where's the bonfire?
Like, right.
Where's the cornhole?
like
I thought you were a yee.
Where are the tractors at? Why can't we go on like late night haunted tractor rides in your fucking cornfields? Oh, it's right, because you have a fucking mansion.
Oh yeah, because you don't live on any fucking land.
Whoops.
You don't even have a fire pit. Why are we here? Bye. Fuck.
Like, if I want to party with the yee, I want the yee experience. Like, this is ridiculous.
Exactly. And like, if it's like, I live in an apartment. Like, I'm not like, hey, I'm a yee person. I'm like, you're gonna come over, we're gonna drink, or we're gonna
watch a movie,
have some edibles, and we're gonna like play cards or like Cards Against Humanity. We play Uno. We get drunk and play fucking Uno. Like, it is so much fun.
I haven't played Uno in so long.
It is so much
It's been years since I played Uno.
But, like, it's either that or I'm like, hey, does everyone want to squat up and play Overwatch? Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to sell you on some shit. I'm not going to be like, oh, we're going to have a big yee party. No, we're going to be in an apartment. Yeah. You're going to have to deal with my cats trying to love you. We're probably going to be really high and really loud and laughing. Maybe the neighbors are going to get upset. I don't know. We're all going to go on the porch. Some of y'all are going to go do dabs. I don't give a shit. I don't have a problem with it. I don't care. Do not tell me that we are going to have a certain type of party and then not give me that type of party. I don't even party, and I'm offended. Like, the last party I went to...
I'm upset now.
was like 3.5 years ago at my buddy Mike's house, and my buddy Mike is, like, literally a millionaire. Like, literally a fucking millionaire. And...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, love Mike. Great man. Absolutely love him.
Nice house.
Beautiful house.
Very nice house. It wasn't the outside, but nice house.
So in his basement, he's got like a full bar. In the basement, there's literally like a gym with a sauna, and there's a whole bar. There's like a 6-car garage under there. But like, he was like, okay, I'm having a party. Came over there. It was fine. We were drinking. We're having a good time. He busts out the karaoke, and like, that was the party. Yeah. And I was like, this is fucking lit. Yeah. Like, I love this. Let's fucking drink. Let's sing some karaoke. The stripper pole came after me. I'm very upset about that, but whatever.
It's fine.
Like,
we got past it.
I went over to his house for Memorial Day one time. He has this big, beautiful pool. We got drunk. We swam in the pool. Like, that's the party I want to go to. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. I want a nice, chill environment. And, like, I want to drink or get high. Like, that's what I want. because all the other stupid shit, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I
wasn't really even much of a
called.
party guy. I mean, for one thing, I mean, you knew my parents, obviously. My parents were not exactly, what's the word I say this without sounding disrespectful? I love my parents. I'm starting off with that.
Strict.
I wouldn't even say strict. I would just say that they were very traditional.
Okay.
Because in a lot of ways, they were lenient. You know, the older I got, they got a little more lenient. Like, they weren't like, they weren't the kind of parents who kept the same rules from when you were 12 until you were 18. Like, they renegotiated as the older I got, kind of a thing. So it wasn't like that. But there were certain things that were definitely like, like my stepdad just had this way of just terrifying people. Like, just by not speaking. My stepdad, if you ever listen to this, you'll 100% agree with me, because you told me you do this. Like, he likes to just kind of, whenever I bring new people over, especially if it was a girl over, it didn't matter if it was a friend who was clearly stated before they came over that this is just a friend.
I don't think he's ever
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Or if it's someone who there's a romantic connection with. If I bring them over, he will sit in the corner of the room and just kind of sit there for the entire time. And most of the time, he might say, hey, how's it going, when they come in the house? But then you won't hear from him again until she's leaving, and then it'll be have a nice day, appreciate you coming over. He doesn't say anything. He just observes and just watches.
So
and it
when I
freaks
showed
out
up,
all my friends.
So when I showed up with purple hair and fucking tattoos and shorts
Sports
and a
bra,
tank top and
sports bra and short, we're going to the gym.
And his mom's like, I love the girl with purple hair, and his
and my
dad
step
just didn't
probably
say
hasn't even spoken to you to this day.
Never. Not one time.
He is a very complicated man, but because
like
of
your
that,
dad, I was in their wedding. Like, that's,
Yeah, but my father's a completely different person too, which is always funny seeing like my mom went, okay, that guy didn't work out. Let me find the exact opposite.
Literally.
Hey, she learned. I'll give her credit. She's like, that's not gonna work. Let me try this. At least you didn't try the same guy twice. I'll give her credit there. But because of that like way that my stepdad had, I felt like if I ever tried to do anything remotely risky, wrong, rebellious, he just knew. Like, he just figured it. And maybe it was because we weren't actually his biological kids, so it was like he sees blinders with the three younger ones. Because my sister and my other siblings get away with way more fucking shit than I ever fucking did.
That's just because they're younger.
Well, that too, but I also think it might be because they're actually his, so he's got one of these, especially with his first daughter.
My mom had that with my sister.
It was full open. I see everything, bruh. You're lying. You're doing this, and I'm like, how do you even know that? Like, there's no way you would have known unless someone told you. He just fucking knew. So I was so scared to do anything that was outside of, the rules until I moved out, and then I went crazy. And I'm still like going through that transition, still going through that period where I'm doing other shit, and trying other things that most people did when they were 16, 17 in high school. I'm doing them at 23.
I never went to a high school party. I think I went to one after a football game type thing. I didn't go to
I had marching band parties, so those count?
I literally, I don't think I ever went to a high school party. I drank probably
I heard stories.
3 times in high school, with my sister. Same reason Jack Daniels and I are just not friends.
Not a very nice guy.
No, he's not very nice to me. He doesn't like me. Now, every time I taste it, I get
He starts to make more sense the more you talk to him. But to me, at least, like, the more you talk, the more he makes sense.
No, but like,
Did you catch my drift?
I got drunk with my sister and her boyfriend at the time, and then I think I was 18 before like I got drunk again, and like we were going to the club, and like that's really illegal, but like I was like drinking, and then we went to the club, and then we got high, and it was just like a mess.
I went to the club one time with my ex-girlfriend when she was my ex-girlfriend on my birthday. What the fuck was I thinking? That was such a dumb fucking idea. I don't know why I thought that was going to be a good idea. She was with somebody at this point too, by the way. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm going to try and I'm going to take it to the club. My birthday, we're going to get back together. No, there was no chance of that. What the fuck was I thinking? I was 19 years old and a fucking idiot. Like, I'm like, yeah, sure, let's bring my ex to the fucking club.
What you were thinking.
With no one. Like, what the fuck was I was such a fucking idiot back then. I swear to God. Like, I would never do that now, but back then I was like, yeah, that makes total sense. Let me just fuck up my entire birthday by bringing my ex-girlfriend with me for the first time. We were there for literally 20 minutes and went home because we're like, this fucking blows.
Sounds like that
it
one
was
time
really
when I went to
dumb.
Ohio.
Oh, that is a fucking story. Holy Christ.
Hi, bitch. I still hate you.
I know she does. I know you do.
Just in case you're listening.
I
keeping tabs.
Seriously doubt that she's listening.
She could be keeping tabs. You don't know.
I really doubt.
I know how I said like I wasn't gonna like hold grudges and like worry about people anymore, but like bitch,
there's a couple people that she definitely still does, which as her friend I actually kind of appreciate, so it's fine.
There are a couple people that like I will fucking hate you until like on fucking site. If I see you,
do I have any on? Yeah, there's like one or two people probably, but one of them doesn't even really know. But it's really personal. Like that guy's like, if I ever, I might, I think he might even still be in prison, so I might not worry. So I may have to worry about it right now. But at some point he'll be out of prison, assuming he lives that long. And if he does,
that's really messed up.
And then if I see him, then yeah.
That's like a very personal and a very like I know that's like a really fucked up thing for both of us to have just said, but like
the story,
like,
if you guys did the story, you completely understand with this guy. Maybe at some point I'll tell the story about right.
I don't think you need to.
But dude, you know what? No, never mind. I'll wait for that one because I want to get this guy on there because I actually met. Oh no, I told you about that one. I told that story already. I'll move on. We'll tell the story at a different time because that story I want to tell with him on the podcast. Not the guy I was talking about. We don't want that. That would make no sense. I'm not going to bring the guy that
you should
clearly have issues. You know, that's not a good idea. But
hi, call me from prison. I want to talk to you about something.
No, I never want to speak to that motherfucker ever. I couldn't give less of a fuck about what happens to him. Again, long story. But anyways, no, there's definitely it's shit. I'm kind of lost of where I was just talking about. I had a whole thought and it's gone.
We were talking about people that
I had a whole thought and it's fucking gone. Sorry, you go. I'm lost. I lost my whole fucking thought. Here, you know what? We'll move on to the actual main one of the main topics we want to talk about. We promised we talk about superheroes,
and we're gonna do it for like 15 minutes because this is gonna be an hour episode. That's it.
We say that.
That's a lie.
It's a lie. So, but I want to bring up. You just did a really dope Deadpool photo shoot, and we're gonna throw up some photos on the green screen behind us.
Yeah.
But where did that even come from? Where did that even start?
So okay,
I know you're a big Deadpool fan, but how did the idea of doing that even come up?
Okay, so yes, I love Deadpool is like. I was always a Batman girl, and I still fucking love Batman, but like I was a like.
We'll talk about Batman in a second.
I was a like Val Kilmer Batman girl. Like I love
the OGs.
He's my favorite. OGs. But like also Christian Bale did a really good job in the trilogy.
Of course.
Batfleck is whatever, but like.
Not as bad as I thought.
Not as bad as...
I thought it'd be worse, but he's not great.
But, like, Val Kilmer will always be my favorite. But when you keep changing people, like, I don't fucking like that. So when Deadpool came out, I was with my ex, and he took me to go see it, because it came out on my birthday. So he took me to go see it. We went and saw it at midnight.
Damn, that's cool. Forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just, you know, we wanted to go see it. We went and saw it. We had a really nice time. So about 3 years ago, when I was working at Domino's, the general manager and I were friends. We'll talk about that another time, but we were friends and we wanted to go to Comic-Con. So we were going to take his kids with us, and it was going to be like me and him and his kids. And if you're working out the story, you're not, because we weren't together. He thought we were. Anyway, I was like, I'm gonna buy a Deadpool suit, and that's, you know, and then you can get whatever, and we'll take your kids, and your kids can dress up and whatever. We'll go have a nice time.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen. So I've had this Deadpool suit for like 3.5 years now. And my good friend Timmy, who most certainly isn't listening, but if for some reason you are, hi, is Spider-Man. He's always been Spider-Man. That's who's in the pictures with me. And we've been saying for years that we were going to do a Spidey Pool shoot. Because if everyone knows Spidey Pool, like it's a thing. So I called him one day and I was like, bro, like my I've recently lost weight, so my suit fits again. And I was like, I really want to go do this shoot. Like, what are you doing this weekend? Like, can we get together? And he's like, yeah, sure, of course. So my fiance, my husband, whatever you want to call him, it's literally depends on the day. I call him my husband all the time, but he's a veteran. And I was like, I need some accessories because it's a morph suit. Like, it's literally a Deadpool morph suit. So it looks really cheesy. Like, it doesn't look any sort of
kind of a Deadpool pajama onesie that I have in my closet.
Right, but like it actually, like, when you have it on and in pictures, like, as long you can make it look decent, but it's very clearly like not leather, like not good quality. I didn't pay $300 for it. But Matt has all of these different straps and belts and clips and holsters and all of that stuff.
Just made it so it actually looked legit.
Which makes it look like I'm actually a Deadpool cosplayer. And so we got all that stuff together, put it on, and I did Lady Deadpool because I had this blonde wig that one of my friends bought me for my birthday 2 years ago that I never wore. And I was just like, fuck it, we're gonna go do it. And he's like, all right, cool. So he lives about half an hour from me in Detroit. Drove down to his house. We decided, fuck it, we're gonna go down to Detroit. Made some TikToks, took some pictures, had a good time.
That's awesome.
But it was fun. And like, now that I posted on my TikTok, I have work people on my TikTok, and now I'm getting together a group to like all go to Comic-Con together because we want to, and we're all fucking nerds.
That's
and,
awesome.
Like, I just it was fun. It's always been fun. I like Deadpool because he's
great.
Fucking badass.
They're making
he
a
can
third
swear.
one too.
Like,
they're making a third one too. And Disney did say it's gonna be rated R. They did say it's gonna be just as gnarly as the other two, if not more. Like, they're not over up.
I didn't like.
They came out and said, like, we're not gonna. You didn't like that. See, I love both. Both of them were fucking great.
I absolutely.
The baby legs. I'm sorry. That's the best scene maybe out of both of them. The baby leg scene was hilarious.
Love the first one. The second one was like meh.
Okay.
Like,
for sure.
It wasn't.
The first one was better. I would agree.
As good. Like, that's all. It just wasn't as good. They never are.
Well, not ever. There are some sequels that are better than the original. There's a few. There's not that many, but
I mean, Dark Knight.
Yeah, Dark Knight would definitely be probably one of the biggest ones. Would definitely be Dark Knight.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about superhero stuff, it's most definitely.
I would say Or now here's another maybe controversial one. Spider-Man 2, I think, is better than Spider-Man 1 out of the original trilogy.
With Tobey Maguire.
Yes. I think Spider-Man 2 is
best.
It's a tough one, though, because Spider-Man 1 is really fucking good. But I think Spider-Man 2 is just a little bit better. I think Dr. Octavius, I think that train fight scene took it over the top for me. And I actually rewatched those two recently, just to kind of, because I haven't seen them in fucking 10 years. And I watched it recently. Let me tell you, just seeing that non-CGI world, and it's just in New York, and all the costumes are real, the costumes actually ripped, and he's bleeding, and they're fighting. It just looks so simple, and it looks so refreshing just to see something like that again. Yeah. And obviously there was CGI in Spider-Man. I'm gonna say there wasn't CGI. But in terms of, like, when you look at Avengers Endgame when they're on another planet, and it's clear that they're not even, I mean, they're in a studio room in a giant green screen bubble. And it's a little bit different. It's a different feel, but it looks so fucking cool,
man. I mean, it's never gonna feel like realistic, because why would it? Like, that you don't watch superhero movies for them to feel realistic. Like, if I want to watch a movie where it feels like a superhero movie, but it still feels realistic, I'm gonna watch John Wick.
Yeah, there we go. Like, that's a good one. That's
like the type of action stuff that I like. Or I'm gonna watch, like, something with
The Equalizer, maybe,
like,
or
something that has
even
Jason Statham in it. Like, all of his movies.
Shoot, even if you want to go with, like, the Rocky movies, those to me feel like he was a fucking superhero in those movies as well.
And like, if that's the type of vibe I'm going for, I'm not gonna watch a Marvel movie. That's a different vibe, though. I'm not gonna watch a DC movie. But, like, if I want, like, the in-between of those two, I'm gonna watch Venom.
Yeah. Venom.
Let's fucking talk about
Venom.
So
underrated, man. I know critics didn't like it. Fuck you. Good. Okay? Fuck those critics.
It needed to be rated R. There needed to be more to it. I think
the second one is going to be.
Well, it's Carnage. It has to be.
That's how I was like, I'm like, they make it PG-13. That's not going to be good at all. So I'm glad that they're actually going to make it rated R. People are going to be
pissed if they do.
I will be pissed. As Carnage.
I'm still going to watch it. But
I'm so excited to see what Woody Harrelson does. I'm so excited. I'm not sure if it'll be good, But I am really looking
it's
forward
gonna
to
be
seeing
fucking
how he's going to do.
incredible.
I can't wait to see what he does with that character.
The only issue that I had with Venom is, like, I had a very, like, that was my introduction to Venom. I know.
Mine was Spider-Man 3, which is not good.
Well, I mean, other than that, but, like, that was my legitimate, like, introduction.
I love you,
to
Topher, but yikes, bro. Yikes.
Matt, my husband,
my Matt,
he, like, absolutely loves Venom. Like, we had a lot of Venom stuff. Like, it was his collection. He loves Carnage, whatever. And so I was like, I don't know Venom. Like, I don't know anything about Venom. Yeah. And so when we went and saw it, I was like, oh, I really like this. Like, this is a really good movie. And it was, but also, like, I was expecting so much more from it, and I kind of...
The PG-13 kind of hindered it a little bit.
I didn't expect it to feel like Spider-Man. I expected it to feel more like Deadpool based on what I knew from Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's literally a scene where he fucking eats a dude. And, like...
Yeah.
You don't see it. You just hear, like...
Right, because it's PG-13, unfortunately. Hopefully we see that in the radar. We'll see, like, heads, like...
Like, I want to see, like, legitimate, like...
The Zack Snyder Justice League was rated R.
Really?
Which I didn't know, but like during the movie there was like actual blood, like actual like body limbs being ripped off of people or cut off of people.
That's
I'm
what
like,
I need.
Wait a minute, this wasn't in the original. Like they made this like rated. I looked it up and sure enough, made rated R. I'm like, there wasn't language. It was just there was a lot more violence. And I'm like, this is actually so much cool. Like more superhero movies should be rated R because like all these like really crazy cool moves where they're slicing people and they just kind of fall. Like no, they wouldn't be missing an arm and half their torso. Like fucking show that. Like and the Zack Snyder cut, was actually able to do that. But Venom, I definitely think needed it. My favorite part about Venom,
but like,
sorry, go on.
Fucking like on that topic, just really quick, like the Once Upon a Fucking Deadpool that they did.
Dude, that was cool.
But like, you can clearly make a PG-13 version and a rated R version.
Just make two versions.
Like, and just don't make it available to fucking children to watch the rated R version. Easy. And you can have them watch the like PG-13 version, and you can give the people that actually genuinely want to see what kind of fucking, pardon the pun, what kind of fucking carnage would happen in these types of fights, and not just have the like.
Yeah, I totally get you. I thought that
I don't know.
The best part to me about Venom wasn't a particular scene. It was the fact that, God, his name is gonna escape me right now. What is the actor's name again? It's killing me. What is his name?
For who?
Tom Hardy. Jesus Christ, I can remember his name. Tom Hardy. They made him look like an absolute disaster from basically the start of the movie until the end, and I loved that. Like, I mean, you see guys like Captain America, perfect haircut, perfect abs, perfect everything. You look at it, like there's not like.
Are
like,
you
look
insinuating that Tom Hardy is not perfect?
I'm not insinuating that, but I liked how they made him not look so perfect in the movie. Yeah. Like he had a old gray hoodie, very boring and not, whatever.
It's like
jeans,
in Deadpool.
And he's sweating through it. He's dirty. His hair is all over the place. He's constantly having panic attacks because he's having, this fucking alien voice in his head telling him what to do, and he's eating raw meat, and he's just like he looks like an absolute mess, and it was so cool to see them do a superhero movie because he's not really a superhero, but you know what I mean. Right. In that general realm, made a guy not look like he had it all together. His life was a mess outside of the alien in his fucking head.
It was so nice.
I love that.
To see someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Like, and he did a good job. I was really happy with his performance. Like the dynamic between the alien and Tom Hardy, the conversations they had, funniest parts of the entire movie. Those conversations were just absolutely hilarious. Can I eat him? No, you can't eat him. Like, like just them having that. Oh my god, best parts of the whole thing. The one thing I didn't like about it, I wasn't a fan of the bad guy. The bad guy, I felt like maybe just like the human version of him. I didn't like that. I didn't like him as like
he wasn't dynamic enough.
He wasn't bad, but I didn't give a shit about him. Like I didn't care about his motivations. I didn't really care. That was a flaw for me, but that wasn't what I came to Venom for.
That's
so I wasn't.
What I was gonna say earlier is like, why did they pick Riot? Why is Riot the first?
What
symbiote?
other villains are in the Venom universe?
There's.
I'm someone who's not read a single comic book, but has watched every superhero movie.
I am most definitely Googling right now, and I'm so sorry because
I can't.
I was not prepared for this. But the different symbiotes.
There was 4 in the movie, but 2 of them were like destroyed or killed during the movie or something like that. Maybe not. I don't remember.
So okay, so okay. Venom is the symbiote, and then he has 7 offsprings, and there's Carnage, Scream, Lasher, Phage, Phage. I hope that's right. Agony and Riot.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me personally, again, not having really known anything about Venom, the 2 that I knew of were Carnage and Scream.
Mm-hmm. So why?
Like,
why was Riot the big one? You think?
I looked at my husband and was like, "What symbiote is that?" And he was like, "I don't know."
Okay, so
like that's what I'm.
So there may have been a
like,
couple
why,
of. Yeah, okay.
Why did you pick
See, I would
Riot?
never have picked up on that myself.
But why
that would have went right over my head.
Right, but like, why did you pick Riot first? Because like, if that's the first move, like I understand they're trying to do.
Maybe they were trying to set up for the big Carnage
Which
one
they
for
did.
number 2. Maybe that was the whole point.
I mean, they did set it up for Carnage at the end.
Well, I mean, like they didn't want to give you the big bad right
what
away.
If it had bombed?
Kind of like Loki for Avengers, and then eventually with the one they were suiting up for was obviously Thanos. Maybe it was something like that, where they don't want to give you the main bad guy.
But what
in
if
the first
Venom?
one.
What if Venom had just absolutely bombed and they didn't make the second one, and then we never got a movie about Carnage?
Critically, it did. They're lucky the audiences loved it.
Exactly.
Because it has like a 90+ score, an audience score, Rotten Tomatoes, but a 35 or whatever for critic score.
But what if we never got the Carnage movie? You know how fucking pissed I would have been?
Yeah, that would have been really lame. You're right.
Like,
it would have just been seen as like a wasted Venom movie.
Exactly.
Albeit a really good performance by Venom and Tom Hardy, but that would be it.
Right, and then we'd have to wait, 10 to 15 years before they wanted to make a new one again?
With some other actor, because it wouldn't be Tom Hardy anymore.
Right, and then I'd be pissed because Tom Hardy did such a good job.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when they took Christian Bale out and they put in fucking Batfleck. Like...
Now, I said that we would get to Batman.
Sorry.
What do you think? No, you're good. What do you think about Robert Pattinson as Batman? I've had this conversation with a few people, but I want to hear your opinion before I give mine. Have you seen the trailer for the Batman one yet?
Not.
It's pretty interesting. It didn't show him a whole lot in it, but obviously because it's more of a teaser, but it's still like 2.5 minutes long, so they're obviously not trying to give everything away. But it came out like 6 months ago. But honestly, you know what? No, sorry. You go first.
I haven't seen him in a lot of things.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't dislike him. I don't love him. I saw him in Twilight.
Everybody did.
I saw him in Harry Potter. Like I
forgot he was in Harry Potter.
I haven't really. He was only in Goblet of Fire, I think.
Okay.
But
which
maybe,
is weird.
which
is weird because that's the only Harry Potter movie I've seen from beginning to end. So you'd think I'd remember that, but I mean,
I've seen all of them multiple times, but that's a different story. I'm not like a Potterhead, but like I enjoy them. Like if I want to, sit and waste a weekend, like. Yeah. I'll sit and watch them all. Do the same thing. Fucking Twilight.
My brother did a couple months ago with his friend. He'd never seen the whole series because as kids we were not allowed to watch Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter because witchcraft. So our parents never allowed us to watch, which is dumb because it's dumb. I thought it was dumb back then. I was like,
it's 10. Dumb now.
Like it's dumb now. It was dumb back then, but. So we never watched any of them. But I was able to watch A Goblet of Fire because I went to a birthday party and we watched it in theaters. So that was the only one I've ever seen from beginning to end. My brother watched, literally spent, he was gone for 2 days. I called him
are you good?
Where are you at? He's like, oh yeah, I've been at my buddy's house. We're watching the fucking Harry Potter series for last 2 days. I'm like, what? And then a month later, he watched the entire Lord of the Rings series. And when I say Lord of the Rings, the Hobbits, all of them. Spent 2 or 3 days and just straight binge watched it with his friend. I'm like, I don't fucking know how you guys are able to do that. That's a lot of movie time.
That's a lot of movie.
I love movies. I don't know.
That's a lot of fucking movie.
That's a lot of movie. That's a lot.
That's a lot of movie.
But I think Robert Pattinson is going to do excellent.
I will give him a chance. I will give him a chance. I think he is a good actor for what I've seen him in. I haven't seen him in anything recently, to be completely honest, or maybe I have and didn't notice. I will give him a fair shot.
Yeah.
I give everyone a fair shot. I will not hype it up because I was very excited for Jared Leto to play the Joker, and he was trash.
I don't think it was his fault, though. I think that was solely the filmmakers who cut out like 90% of his fucking scenes.
And I think that the scenes that he did were not great.
Warner Brothers needs to get rid of DC because they just continue to continuously
Just fucking give it to Disney.
Just get
honestly,
just give it all to Disney.
Like,
They'll take care of it.
I don't even like Disney. Like
But they can make a damn good movie.
I like old Disney. I like. I have a problem with the really old shit of the fact that like Walt Disney was anti-Semitic. Like I have a fucking problem with that.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with how much money they make. I have a problem with how they treat their employees. Like I have a fucking problem with Disney. But they make good movies.
They do.
Like I had a really big fucking problem with Disney when they fired Johnny Depp over the bullshit with Amber Heard.
And they brought him back, didn't they? But and now
they brought him back.
And now Amber Heard is actually fired from
Fuck
Aquaman
Amber
2.
Heard. She's a
yeah, she was
bitch,
fired.
but
She was fired from Aquaman 2, which surprised me. I didn't think that they actually would do that because it took so long. I didn't think. I'm like, they're probably not going to do that.
They would have lost so much support.
Everyone wants them to get Emilia Clarke to play her.
Yeah.
I mean, Game of Thrones. That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Like, get Emilia Clarke.
Put them back together.
Get that now.
Yeah.
Give it to me now. That would be so cool.
I have an issue with Disney. I have an issue with the fact that they've monopolized everything. I have an issue with the fact that I pay for Disney Plus and they want to keep dropping movies and make me pay extra for it. Don't put it on the fucking platform then. Keep it in the theaters. Don't get any of your money and release it in 3 months like you normally would. Get fucked. You don't need more of my money.
Yeah.
But like I
have Disney Plus solely because of all the Marvel TV shows that are coming out. Like I watched WandaVision, loved it. Thought it was excellent. I absolutely loved it.
I have Disney Plus because I watch Moana like 3 times a week.
That's fair. I think it's honestly like 80% of Disney Plus subscribers. That and Frozen. They just put on repeat for their kids.
I don't have kids. I'm the kid.
But
like last night, like I got home from work and I was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get baked and watch movies. And like we watched Alice in Wonderland and that was an experience. And then I put on Moana and I went to sleep. Like that's. If I'm having a really particularly feisty day, I watch Hercules so Hades and I can be sassy bitches. Like it's.
Oh, I watched Tarzan the other day.
Let me tell
you, Phil Collins goes
did not
way
need to go
too
that
hard on that fucking soundtrack.
He did not.
And I know that they make memes about it. It's fucking true.
It really is.
He goes hard on that damn soundtrack, dude. Way too like, hey man, we're just making a movie about a guy, swings through trees. Maybe just make a cool soundtrack for us. Got you, man. Just makes the bombest fucking soundtrack in Disney history, man. Unbelievable. I absolutely love that damn movie. No, it's fun to look back at those old Disney ones and just see what things you missed. Because there's a lot of those animated stuff, especially like the DreamWorks stuff. They have a lot of jokes that are made for adults to keep them interested, while their kids are just like enamored by the colors and the characters.
Have you ever gone back and watched SpongeBob?
That. Oh my god, there's so many. Like, I'm like, no wonder my dad used to turn the show on when we weren't in the room. Because they have adult jokes. We just don't know it.
Can we talk about the greatest, definitely for adults, line in any Disney movie ever?
What?
Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
The Beast wants to buy Belle, or get Belle a gift.
Okay.
He said, but what? Fucking Cogsworth goes, well, there's the usual flowers, chocolates, promises you don't intend to keep. Like, that is my favorite. Like, first of all, accurate. Second,
I did not remember that. That's awesome.
That is one of the best fucking lines in any Disney movie.
Oh, that is excellent, man.
You also know you're growing up when you're watching those Disney movies and fucking Ariel's like, I'm 16 now. And you're like, shut the fuck up. Sit down. You're a child. Like,
sit down.
You don't know shit.
I want to live by my own rules. You don't even know how to, you don't know anything.
I know.
Anything.
I'm an adult. Shut the fuck up. No, you're not. You are a child. You have no idea.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's great. No, I love looking back and just find, like, dude, Shrek. Holy shit, there's a lot of fucking jokes in there for adults. I did not, like, again, as a kid, just rode right over my head. Like they swear like 3 or 4 times in that damn movie. I didn't even notice because they say it like kind of quietly or kind of fast, and there'll be like a damn or like an ass, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I didn't even notice when I was a kid. I thought it was like, oh, I'm hearing things. No, they actually swear in that in Shrek, which is I forget that it's PG-13.
Which one is the one where they go far, far away?
Is
that the third one? Two? Okay.
Because third is
Does anyone remember when they were all in prison and Pinocchio goes down and they're like, you need to tell a lie, and they're like what? And he goes, say you're wearing ladies' underwear, and he goes,
yeah,
I'm wearing ladies' underwear. And then the gingerbread man goes back and snaps his fucking thong and goes, it's a thong.
See, that I picked up as a kid, even as a kid. I thought that was the funniest thing. I'm wearing ladies' underwear. Nothing happens.
But a thong, though?
I most certainly am not. What?
Looks like you most certainly are.
Oh my god, that was awesome, dude. That whole fucking I gotta go back and watch that movie again now. That's fucking great. I love watching old movies that I used to love as a kid. Even some of the ones that were not animations, like stuff that I just like just watching old shit that I haven't seen in 10+ years, like the Spider movies I mentioned earlier. Just so cool to pick up on little shit, like even parts of the story, like, oh, that makes way more sense now that I watched it when I'm 23 and not 7. Like now I actually know what's happening. That makes more sense now. Like your whole perception of the movie can change sometimes. I love doing that. Yeah.
It's just sad when you watch a movie again and then you realize it's fucking garbage.
Oh.
And you're like, I used to love this movie.
That happened with the first horror movie I ever watched.
Matt did that to me. Rocky Horror Picture Show is one of my favorite movies. And like,
yeah, I've seen that.
I mean, Tim Curry's in lingerie. Like, but that's not why. Like, it's just a really good movie. I found it when I was in high school. Like, I fixated on it.
Everybody found that movie in high school. Like, everyone I knew knew that movie. Everyone I knew in high school knew what that movie was. But like, no one talks about it now. Like for whatever reason. Like, I don't know if it's just maybe it's, I don't know.
I love it. But the point of that is, I absolutely fucking love that movie. Like, there was a time where when I fixated on it the first time, I watched it every day for a month. Like, that's what happens when I fixate on things. And I wanted to show Matt. I was like, this is my absolute favorite movie. Like, you have to watch it with me. It's so good. The whole time, he, like, sat there and was like, this is trash. Like, this movie is horrible. Like, he's like, you like this? And, like, it crushed my soul. I was like, I fucking love this movie.
That's
like, you're really gonna, like,
just pretend to like it.
Right. Like, I watch that movie. I sit and sing every song. I'm dancing. I'm reciting the fucking movie as it goes on. Like, and he's just like, you what? I'm like, you like this movie? And I'm like, what do you fucking like? Let me guess. Superheroes. Let me guess. Some other fucking basic man movie.
Jarhead.
Oh, you want to watch military movies? Shocking.
The first horror movie I ever watched. Well, actually, technically, it was 2 the same day. I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and my dad had a couple of movies on his table, and one of them was the Candyman, one of them was the Boogeyman, and another one was House of the Dead 2. Which House of the Dead 2, that one I could tell by the title was obviously probably scary, but the Boogeyman and Candyman sounded really fucking fun to me. I'm like, ooh. That sounds like dancing. That sounds cool. And a Candyman, like, oh, come on now. This is a guy that just gives out fucking candy? Let me fucking see this. My dad would not let me watch Candyman for good reasons. That was thank you, Dad. But he did tell me but he did say, okay, well, we'll watch Boogeyman. I'm like, okay, cool. I never really heard the story. Like, everyone, like, oh, the Boogeyman is the Quantum Club. Never, that story was never told to me as a kid. So I had no knowledge of what this character was. I was so fucking terrified. I even remember a scene that happened in that movie that didn't actually happen the way that I thought it did at all. Not even remotely close. I watched it about 10 years later. It's an awful fucking movie. And the CGI is terrible. It's a horrible story. It's not a good movie in the slightest. And it just and then even House of the Dead 2, worse. It's much worse. That movie, zombies. Come on, it was scary as a kid. But that movie also terrified me as a kid. I watched it later and just realized this is one of the worst fucking movies I may have ever seen in my entire. It's not it like I don't know if I can even classify it as a movie. Like it was just that fucking bad. Like how the hell did these movies? How did these? I mean, yes, I understand Simple Minds.
Technology,
but it was just so bad when you actually know like how to look at a movie. Now it's like this is a fucking horrible movie, man.
Have you watched The Bye Bye Man?
Yes, I loved it in theaters the first time I saw it, and then I kept seeing how much people hated it. I'm like, why does everyone hate this movie so much? Rewatched it, and I'm like,
haven't seen
it's
the
not
whole
that
thing.
great.
I haven't seen the whole thing.
No, you didn't like it that much.
So I was watching it with Matt, right? I had my window open. I had the light on. I had my phone in front of my face, watching it like this. That one scene where they're laying in the bed, and the guy looks at the wall, and there's like the cloak. And then, like, he blinks and the fucking comes out. I was like, nah, we're done. Nope, I'm out.
Nope,
I'm done. I'm done.
That movie,
I'm leaving.
there's so many people who hated that movie.
Fucking
which to me, like the first time I saw it, maybe I was just enjoying it. I wasn't looking at it critically. But I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a cool, like, okay, this is like a modern day boogeyman. And unfortunately for most people, it was also a modern day boogeyman with the same quality.
I literally had to get new medication to be able to sleep at night because I was anxious that it was in my house.
Wow.
For a month. There are nights where I'm laying there getting ready to go to sleep. Matt's already sleeping because he's a fuck and he just falls right to sleep. And I'm laying there and I'm like laying.
The cloak.
I'm laying and I just see the hand like come up over me and I'm like, nope. We're putting on.
See, that happened.
We're putting on a Disney movie where.
That happened with me with the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books. That happened to me. There was the one woman who doesn't have eyes, like the eyesight.
She's my favorite.
That woman, I would be in the top bunk, and to me, she just seemed tall. That's just how I pictured her. So I'd be in the top bunk, I'd be facing the wall, and I knew she was standing right
and you couldn't
there.
Turn around.
I was not turning around to find out, but I knew it. She's standing there waiting for me to turn around. Like that, just that image of that picture, those illustrations fucked me up
By
when
the
I
way,
was a kid.
It's been like 6 months since we watched that movie, and I still fucking think about that sometimes.
Which one?
The Bye Bye Man.
Really?
Yes. This shit freaks me the fuck out.
You might be the only one who actually was legitimately scared by that movie who wasn't, like a child.
I am a child. What do you mean? No, that shit fucking scared the shit out of me. And like the reason too is like I have this black lace and like tulle dress that hangs on my closet door.
Yeah, I would have probably just put on the floor, I think.
It's like $150
until you
dress.
wake up and it's back hanging up on the shelf again.
Exactly. No.
Wait.
No.
Nope, moving. We're moving.
And that's the thing too, is like I fucking love horror movies. And like I want to watch them all, but like that type of shit, I don't like jump scares. Like I will enjoy a good like psychological thriller and one of those movies that really makes you think, like Midsommar. I love that movie.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It was so good.
I have yet to see that one yet.
I thought it was a very, very good movie, but there wasn't a whole lot of jump scares. It was just a lot of
with some people, like it's weird because people either hate them or if they don't have them, then all of a sudden it's not scary enough.
But like
but I thought you hated jump scares, so then
like,
someone makes one without it, it's all of a sudden like, oh, this doesn't have enough scares in it.
But for me, like I have very specific mental health issues that like I don't need you to scare me. Like I'm already afraid.
I'm already
like I sit down in the theater nervous. And I'm already fucking petrified.
I'm already nervous.
I don't need your help. Like so I don't need jump scares. Like that's not my type of like a horror movie. I'm still gonna watch it, but like Silence of the Lambs, like that type of a horror movie, Red Dragon. Those I love those.
Okay. Very nice.
Hannibal. I love those.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are the types of things that I want to watch because it's a very like absolutely fucked up, really weird scenario. Like there's just some crazy shit going on, but like there's not a lot of jump scares. And like the jump scares that there are, like if you haven't seen Silence of the Lambs, fucking spoiler, I guess. I don't know.
Spoiler? It was what? It came out in the 90s? Like,
but, like,
spoiler alert.
At the end of that movie when like they're in the dark and like Buffalo Bill's like going to like touch her and like
Yeah.
she shoots and whatever.
When
Like
she,
that
she
jump,
can't see them and he's just
that anxious jump. I fucking love that. Like I live for
like,
that
oh
feeling.
my god.
But like the random jump scares of like slasher movies, I'm just not into it.
You
like,
know which
it's
one?
It's not as entertaining to me. But like The Conjuring 2, the kind of like jump scares with the nun, like I liked that. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
sometimes you can do a jump scare really, really well. I think a lot of people, they think jump scares and they think we need loud music. And it's like you don't. Something like there's a great example in one of the old Halloween movies where a cop kind of just came behind someone and it looked like it could have been maybe a someone bad, but it was just it was just a cop like, hey, but they didn't go and just fucking have this giant loud sound. It was just like a light, light uptick of the music, and that was more effective because it was more because you weren't scared by the abruptness of the sound. You were scared by the fact that that could be Michael Myers or whatever, and you turn around, it was just some random guy. But that was far more, and that was fucking
and that's the type of stuff I like.
Old school. Like, why can't people do more of that? It's always got to be accompanied by the loudest fucking either bass drop or just horn sound of just screaming. Like, why?
Like, the music is meant to make you anxious. Like, that's literally, you can watch.
You blow out my eardrums to prove a point.
Like, literally. First of all, why the fuck are movies so loud now? Like, I hate going to theaters. I feel like I'm an old woman because I'm like, it is way too fucking loud in here.
Oh, see, I go to the Dolby Theater and IMAX and just give me all the sound. Give it to me. Make me deaf. I'm cool.
I don't know. It's just so fucking loud. Like, but the music is literally created to make you uneasy. Like, why wouldn't you just use that to your advantage? And there are movies that do. There are movies that do, and I really fucking like that. Because, like, even in The Joker, which is not a horror movie.
Psychological horror, maybe.
Right. It's more of a psychological
but it's not,
thriller.
yeah.
But, like, the music in that movie made me so fucking uncomfortable. That whole movie made me so
That whole movie made me uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable.
I haven't watched it. I've watched it one time. That's not a movie that you can just sit down and just go, I'm going to casually watch The Joker.
I watched it the first time.
That's a tough one to watch again.
I had a panic attack through the entire movie. I was so mentally drained after watching that movie. I did not go to work the next day. Like,
it is a taxing movie,
someone
but it is excellent.
With mental health issues, I cried so many times. I was anxious. I was I wanted to puke. Like, it was a mess. Like, people were sitting and laughing in the theater and I was crying. Like, and nobody really understood why. And I ended up having a really interesting conversation. And I don't remember if we talked about this in the first season.
I'm not sure.
We might have. But, like, we could do a whole episode on this.
Oh, Lord.
But, like, The Joker was a very important conversation that we needed to have. And the way that the media and everybody talked about it was the exact opposite of what it should have been.
100%.
Because everyone's like, it's glorifying gun violence and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, it's fucking not. It's showing you exactly, it's showing you exactly what it fucking looks like when you take someone that is an outcast, that has problems, that needs help, doesn't get help. People treat them like shit. They don't have any access to help. And then when they finally fucking snap, you want to demonize and, like, obviously don't go around fucking killing people.
Right.
But it's like, people were like, oh, well, with everything going on and all the gun violence.
It almost felt like they felt like they were getting called out. And
you are being fucking called out.
Like, oh, it's glorifying gun. No, you're just masking your own personal guilt.
It's
because you've treated people like that.
The type of shit that you do has an effect on other people, and you need to understand and respect that not everyone has a neurotypical brain. And if you have a non-fucking normal brain, like, people with different mental illnesses just don't see things the same. Like, for me, I literally, if you know me, my husband, fiance, Matt, whatever, if one day he sends me a message that looks slightly different than the normal way he would text me, I will literally call him and be like, are we okay? Are you mad? Is everything okay? Because I'm fucking anxious that he doesn't love me anymore. Mercy. Like,
I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way with that.
Yeah. So, like, say something happens. say something happens and you like snap on me and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck is your problem? I will either disappear for a week or two, or I will beg you to tell me exactly what I did and everything that I can do to fix it. And like the people that made fun of me, like I tried to change all of like everything that I was. Like I tried to be who I needed to be and who I wanted to be.
I want you to like me. So because of that, I'm gonna take the sacrifice to make sure that when I see you again, that doesn't happen again. And I'm the biggest fucking people pleaser.
I said it to you earlier, and I make this joke to one of my friends at work all the time. I make the joke of specifically curated content. And what I mean by that is like, if someone tells me that they like something that I do, and I know that I'm going to see them, I will do that thing. So like if it's my makeup, or if it's something that I wear, or a way that I wear my hair, like when I wear my hair up like this with the half ponytail, Matt absolutely loves it. It's his favorite hairstyle on me. I started doing my eyeliner again and wearing yellow eyeshadow because I just makes me feel cute. And someone told me people have been telling me at work that they like it, so I do it now because it looks cute. And like my entire life is specifically curated content. Like I will literally be whoever you need me to be.
I wish that wasn't how I was.
If you tell me what you like about me or who I am, like if you're like, oh my God, you're so funny, you always make me laugh, I'm about to be the funniest motherfucker you've ever met. Like if you're like,
I agree.
I love how sweet you are, and it's so nice that like you make sure that I eat, or like you know these snacks that I like or whatever.
Oh,
like
good. That's not gonna stop now.
You're gonna show up and there's gonna be your favorite candy sitting at your desk. Like that's the type of person I am. And or if you're like, I love that, you know, you text me in the morning and ask me how I slept. Guess what, bitch? Good morning. How'd you sleep?
Yep. Every single time. Yep. I'm the exact same way. I definitely I have a lot of times it's definitely to my detriment. Where
Shout out to mental illness.
My mom was very similar. She just like it didn't matter. Like I mean, even with you, you know, like you and my mom have a lot of just philosophical, moral differences in terms of how you view certain things. You guys are just very different.
Very different people.
But that's not how my mom ever treated you. Like she always like it didn't matter who it was. She always had to become best friends with, you know, anyone that any one of the kids brought home. Like
she wanted to know everything.
100%. She you know like
whether she agreed with it.
I got that emotion 100% from her. Where even in the military, where it's just testosterone flowing all over the place, and you're sitting in basic training and you're there for months, and you know, like let's just be honest, not many people have released very often in the military because you're with a bunch of, you know, most people, I would say, not saying everybody, but a lot of the, you know, especially in basic training where you're
in a house with a lot of men.
It's a lot. So there isn't a lot of, you know, at least not with my particular group.
Pent-up frustration.
A lot of pent-up frustration. And whether it was right before Christmas and even when we came back and right before graduation, those were always the worst times where fights were very close to breaking out. And even when there were people that would just get right into my face and they were ready to fucking start throwing hands, I'm just not someone who likes the idea, because even if we were to fight, after it was over, the entire, like from now on, I would just be thinking about like, man, like what if I really fucking did something? Like what? Like I'm already thinking about, and it could be something completely unexcusable that they didn't, and they could have absolutely deserved it. I am such like I hate people hating me. And I hate the thought of someone out there, like there's still a couple people out there right now that just don't like me. And I still think about them to this day. They probably never thought about me in 3 or 4 years, if not longer. I can't stop thinking about it. And I wish that wasn't the case. I wish that was, you know, I wish that, like, I say to people all the time, like, I wish I could just be an asshole sometimes. But I'm just not an asshole. I wish I could be an asshole. Like, I'm so bad at, like, in the shower or if I'm by myself, I will cuss you the fuck out, but you will never hear it.
I will say all the things that I should have said, but I will never say it to you.
You will never hear it.
But like that, and for me, it's one or the other. Like I am either like, oh my God, they hate me now. Like I what can I do? How can I fix this? Like I will just go into that emotional turmoil. Or fuck you, fuck your mom, fuck your kids, fuck your life. Like I don't fucking care. Get the fuck away from me. Like it's one of the two. And like you know very specifically which one you are. Like,
yeah.
And like it's like what we were talking about earlier. Like there are 2 people that I absolutely hate in your life, And, like, on fucking sight, I will make sure that they know that I fucking hate them and I didn't forget. Like,
yeah.
But there's also people that, in my life, that have done me wrong, and, like, I would just be like, oh, hi, and, like, fucking leave as quickly as possible, because I just...
Exactly.
I don't want the confrontation.
My brain
I don't
always
want to know
thinks
what the
about,
fuck
is
you're
it worth
up to?
The first thing that comes to my brain is always, is this worth it? It's not, for some people, their first thought is, time to fight, or time to gear up. That's never the first thought. That thought comes far after, when that's now the only option. And so far that has yet to happen, because I'm usually pretty good at either just quieting down the situation or just leaving. Like, it's just sometimes that's just the best thing to do. Like, and maybe that was just partly with how I was raised, but I've never had the thought in my head of, the first thought is not fight or flight. It's more just, hey, let's just talk for a second. Let's just, maybe we misunderstood. I'll even say some shit that's not even true, just to get him to calm down. Like, you know what?
I've been there.
I messed up. I apologize. Shouldn't have apologized.
And
but
that's
it's just,
bad on
but it
toxic
just,
relationships.
but it just, oh God. But it's, and I think a lot of it, like, I've thought about over time too, and a lot of it is just like, like there's always that thing of how, like, whenever someone, like, is excited about talking about something and then they apologize afterwards, like, people have made them feel like they're just like their thoughts or their excitement isn't acceptable. It isn't, it's like they've been put down because of their likes or their beliefs, and they're used to just kind of being that person that is just not seen.
I have a story. I have a story and an example about that.
We'll probably end on this one too. We're an hour and a half into this shit.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
It's fine. Go ahead.
So we talked about it in, like, the first episode, maybe, I don't know, where we were talking about T-Way, the artist that I absolutely love, and his art that I collect.
First episode.
Was it the first episode?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's
So my friends that I've become friends with at work, the whole, like, security gang, they all have seen my collection, like, in pictures and stuff, and I talk about it, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a drop, and I traded, and I'm like, there's out for delivery, like, whatever. I get really excited, and then I'm always like, oh, I'm sorry, and they're like, no, it's fine. So 2 of the guys came by my house the other night at, like, 10:30. They worked till 10. One of the guys just moved and broke his TV, and I was like, I have a spare.
Yeah.
Like, I have 4 televisions in my house. I live in a 700 square foot 1-bedroom apartment.
You can have one.
you can have it. Like, it's a 32-inch. It's, it's not the biggest, but, like, it's a free flat screen. So, he comes over and he brought one of the other people from work, and I was like, oh, do you guys want to see my pins?
Yeah.
And, like, both of them were like, yeah, absolutely we do. So, like, I bring them out, and they're looking at them, and, like, they all know, they know they're very expensive, so they're like, oh, we're not going to touch them. I'm like, just fucking look at them. Like, appreciate them. Like, they're so fucking cool. I love them. And they were like, these are really badass. And I'm like, all of them have, like, glow or UV too. So I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. And I, like, run in my room and grab this flashlight that I have that charges glow.
Yeah.
And I, like, turn all the lights off, and I'm, like, shining it on it. I'm like, oh, look at how fucking cool this is. And, like, I turn the lights back on, and both of them were just looking at me and, like, smiling. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And they were like, no, this is really fucking cool. Like, they were so happy to, like, see me outside of work, actually happy, like, get to see these things. Because, like, these people are, like, the people that I talk to all day long, where I'm like, I'm not having a good day, like, I'm really anxious, I'm, whatever the case is, and they're the people that, like, calm me down, pull me out of it, like, whatever, like, they're, like, my safety net, like, they're my friends, because I don't have a lot of people at work anymore. So, do
you tend to, like, almost, when you talk about things that you're interested in, because I know I do this all the time, especially with rapping, where you talk about it, where in your head you're far more excited about it than you're actually talking about it. You're kind of like, yeah, I dabble in this every now and again. Like, I like to do this, but it's not really like, before you start thinking about what, whatever, like, it's not that serious, or it's not like, it's just something I like to do. I always have talked about my music that way to other people, where that's not how I actually feel about it, but I'm always so nervous about them thinking, oh, you're whatever. Yeah. Like, and it's so dumb. You don't want people to feel almost like you're conceited or... It's hashtag mental fucking illness. It's great. No. It's that's always something that I wish I'm working on a lot more. I don't do it nearly as much as I used to, but when I was younger, everything that I was super interested in, I would, even if I started talking super excited about it, if kind of what you said, like if I felt like people maybe like I was talking about it too much, or if I'm like,
you tone it down.
Wait, let me just calm down. I think maybe I'm being overbearing, which I'm probably not, but right. But that's just how I feel. And
then by the end of it, you're like, yeah, so I mean, what do you like? Because you have, like, after a while, and I mean, I had that in relationships where, like, that was an issue. Like, that I was so excited about stuff, and, like, I never shut the fuck up. Like, I literally had someone tell me that they, like, hated the fact that I never shut the fuck up.
Let me count it. Let me get the list of people who told me to shut up before. Like, just
yours is only that long? Mine's fucking up there. Like, it's just, people don't understand.
I talk
like,
a lot.
You should not have to apologize for being excited about something. You should not have to apologize for being passionate about something. And it's like fucking what we were talking about first episode. Like, it's 2021. Be excited about your shit.
Yeah.
Like, do
who says
you.
The show does not
do you.
Lessons?
Do you at this point. Like, honestly, last year was shit. This year is not shaping up to be great. Like, just fucking do what you want to do. Be happy. Fuck anybody who says anything different. Not really, though. Do not fuck them.
Or do, if that's what you're into.
I mean, if that's what you're into.
That's what you're into. Go ahead.
Just want to fuck a stranger that doesn't even give a shit about you. Like, that's cool.
That makes you happy. Just
get in there. It's
who says the show doesn't do life lessons? We got this. Like, see?
Don't get attached.
We got life lessons here
and
all the time.
Words
of wisdom.
Your ex. That's it. That's all I got.
Yes. I luckily haven't had to worry about that too much. Pretty much all 3 of my relationships, after a while, like none of them I talk to now. Like all 3 of them have which I always think it's funny when people are like, man, like my ex just won't stop talking to me. I'm like, I have never had that problem. I've never had the issue of I can't get an ex off my back. Usually, like like it's more like eventually like it just kind of fades out. But there's still people that like are still caught up in talking to some of their exes from like high school or junior high, and
I literally invited my ex fiance to my wedding.
Well, there you go. See, that to me is so foreign to me, just because I'm like, I have like the last ex I talked to was probably the most recent one, and I can't remember when that was. That was probably maybe like a year ago.
We were like best.
Just like shout out a message. Just said, hey, what's up? It's been 4 years. How you doing? But that was it. Like I haven't talked to one from high school who I mentioned earlier, but that's for many reasons. I don't think she has any interest in speaking to me again. And then the one from junior high, I mean, it's a junior high relationship, but that's probably like I thought about too. Like that might be the only ex that if I saw her out in public would probably be one of the only ones that I'd actually want to be like, hey, how has life been? Because we knew each other in 9th grade. Like I know both of us are so different now. Like that actually might be a pretty fun conversation. But like, how has life been since we broke up fucking 8 years ago?
Well,
like she actually would be the only one who would actually want to sit down with and get to know again.
I mean, that's how it was with like my ex that I literally invited to my wedding. Like we were engaged. I've known him since I was 12, and like one day he hopped on while we were playing video games. I was playing with my friend Scotty, and he like hopped on, and
yeah,
we were like, okay, cool. And we hadn't talked in years, and it was literally like, how are you doing?
I've had a love-hate relationship with this guy. It kind of depends on whatever you view him as. I view him the same way.
I too have a love-hate relationship with him.
Like, that's how best friends are supposed to go. You hate them when they hate them, and you love them when they don't. Or if they do, sometimes you have to try to be like, hey, bruh, remember.
Do you remember that one time?
It just depends on what they did. But
I think that's it. That's all she wrote today.
Yeah, it's been an hour and a half. Because if we don't stop now, we're never gonna stop. We're gonna keep talking. But enjoy the extra long episode from this one. We got more episodes coming very, very soon. A lot of big plans coming. We hope that well, personally, I hope that you guys are really liking the editor that we got for this show too. This guy has obviously, he's helped create the intro. The intro is going to keep changing the more episodes get released. And just having someone that can add it, because I told him too, I said just add funny things that we don't even see coming in it. If you want to, that'd be awesome. Like just add little shit, like I kind of gave him like kind of the freedom to just be like, hey man, like put some shit in there that because I mean it's just it's just a little show. We don't, we got,
Right.
we don't got anything crazy. Maybe someday, that'd be great. Fingers crossed. But just, I like using this show as a platform for people to just kind of express how they feel, and whether episodes go to an hour and a half, or or even just me just bringing in people who just don't have that, have that platform to be able to talk about things they like we talked about, this is that place where people can, really kind of explore things that whether they are interested in or even things that they're not. I like talking to people that like if you're a musician, I like to talk to you about other things that you do, because everyone, especially like say I get a band on here. Every time they get interviewed, it's going to be about their music. But there's not many times where they get interviewed about, hey, man, like, what else do you like to do? What things are you wanting to do? Like, is there anything that, like, you play guitar, but do you want to learn how to play drums? Like, just stuff like that.
It's a Friday night. You're not touring. What's your ideal night? You know, like, what? Okay, cool. Where is your favorite place that you visited and why? And it could be while you were on tour, and it could have just been, a random vacation. Like, that's...
Like, episodes with me and you are, more or less is more of what, kind of what we call like either a discussion episode or just a conversation.
Whatever we
just because, you're the co-host of the show. I'm not necessarily interviewing you, per se. We kind of did that. We did that in the first season, but the audience knows you well enough to where, I don't have to be like, so this is a new person. Tell us about yourself.
But if you
we can just come on and be like, who we are. Let's get this going.
Right. But if you ever have questions, please.
We've had all the individual movies released, and now it's the Avengers. Like now, we're like, oh, they've already been introduced. Like, hey, we're good to go. And I like doing these types of episodes too, because like I said, we can just turn the thing on and be like, all right, so guess what's pissing me off today, and we just go right into it.
I literally walked in and was like, what are we talking about? And then like,
it was the whole episode was gonna be superheroes, by the way, because I watched Justice League Zack Snyder's cut last night, and we said it ended really good. Just check it out. I won't say anything else about it. Really good. 20 times better than the original one. Zack Snyder, I'm always going to root for the filmmaker to finally get his vision out, and hearing the story about what happened for why it didn't get put out the way it did, like he lost his daughter during production to suicide, so he dropped out of production for mainly that reason. Not to mention Warner Brothers is kind of a piece of shit with DC, but that's another conversation. But seeing him being able to release his vision was just really, really cool. And the fact that it was so much better, to me, I feel like that's going to help filmmakers who, because it's hard to put a 4-hour movie in theaters, because you're only going to be able to play it 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, 3 really,
right.
So I guess if you have multiple theaters, but the whole point of making it 2 hours was so they could play it 6 times, 7 times a day, multiple theaters, and just make the most money from it. Which business wise, sure, that makes sense. But when it comes to the filmmaker's vision, of course. Yeah. So being able to have streaming platforms like HBO Max, or say what you want about how it's affecting the theater industry, it is, in my opinion, going to help the filmmaking industry in terms of people being able to put out their whole visions, like The Hateful Eight on Netflix. They were able to release a 4-hour version of it, and we would have gotten that in theaters. So having these platforms, I think, is helping when it comes to that aspect. People can actually get their whole ideas out, and I think that could be good for filmmaking in the future.
I feel like the main thing too is like, with the streaming platforms, and I know we're still talking. Sorry,
we're still talking. But it's fine. Just close it off if you don't want to hear
it. Right.
It's fine.
Like, talking about like the film industry to begin with is like the whole concept of movie theaters is going out of style. It's the same way that drive-in
theaters,
breaks
my heart, but
right, it's the same thing.
It's the way it goes. Things happen,
But you can blame streaming services to a point, and then now you can blame COVID, because COVID 100% showed us that people can release movies at home. I can watch that shit in the comfort of my own home. The only difference is I don't get the popcorn, and that's a big deal for me. So I'm still gonna go to theaters. But
I like the comfy chairs.
Like, right, like you can still have the stuff in theaters, and it's exactly what you just said. Like, I will still go and watch a 2-hour movie in theaters, but if you're gonna give me somewhere where I can watch
the 3.5
4-hour version that they really wanted us to see, I'm still going to do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a competition. I'm still gonna watch what you put out in theaters, and then I'm gonna go and watch what it was supposed to be, like what they truly wanted us to see.
Of course.
Because why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
I
agree.
Like, and I feel like it goes to a point where it shows that you actually respect the artistic creation of it, because you're respecting them enough to spend the time to watch that when you could have only watched the snippet that they made to make money on.
Or maybe even that was kind of taken from them in the example of the Zack Snyder. Someone else came in and basically finished it for him and filmed his own scenes that just made the whole thing a mess. You know, like in a situation or example like that, so it wasn't even like all the good scenes from Justice League were all Zack Snyder's. You know, and like, you know, even even the trailer, I remember like the very end of the trailer was Alfred saying to somebody, we didn't know who it was at the time, like, you know, he's, you know, Batman said you would come. Let's hope you're not too late. And everyone assumed that was Superman, but that scene was completely cut out in the Justice League. It's not cut out in the Zack Snyder cut. So just seeing stuff like that, like even just little things like that people complained about before, it's all in there. And you can make the argument like, oh, this movie probably could have been 3.5 hours, and that might be true. But when you have this opportunity to just give us it all, just give it.
You know what I fucking
give it
hated
to me.
about
Give me
Justice
every
League?
scene you filmed. I want to see all of it, and I'm glad he did that.
What I genuinely fucking hated about Justice League was that the main people that we already knew everything about were focused on. And the new people that were coming in...
Fuck Cyborg, fuck Flash, like they just screw them.
This much
Aquaman
amount of
too.
time. And that was it. And I'm making, you know, small finger. But, like, literally, it was bullshit. And, like, that was why I fucking hated it. Like, I saw it. I was so excited. And I'm like, I don't fucking care about Batman anymore.
We know Batman. We know Wonder Woman.
I don't care about Wonder Woman. I don't care about Superman. Give me the new characters. And the fact that they had the flat...
Dude, Ezra Miller was great in this version too. Like all those characters got their own stories. Cyborg I actually cared about. Like he was just this stone personality person in the original Justice League, and I felt so bad for him. In this version, he was just fucking awesome. You understood his motivations. You understood his pain a little bit more.
No pun intended. Like they did not do it justice with what they put in theaters.
No, absolutely not. No, Joss Whedon.
It's a horrible movie.
Or some people call it the Justice League, just because it just isn't the same movie. But now, honestly, this one, guys, if you guys haven't seen it, if you like superhero movies like we do, you guys got to see it. It is to me. This may be bold, but to me, and I'll end it with this last line here. To me, it's up there with the Avengers, all the Avengers movies. When it like Endgame, Infinity War, I can't remember what Avengers 2 was called. Avengers 2 something. Maybe it was just called Avengers 2. I don't remember. But all of those movies, it's up there with those 100%. Like in my personal opinion, my brother even said like think about a movie like The Watchmen, how long that movie was, but it needed all those 4 hours in that movie like that as well. Like it's like sometimes you just need the whole thing, you know. Yeah. But in theaters, the movie was I think like 2.5 hours long. They released the director's cut to Amazon Prime, where it was 4 hours long.
And that's the thing. Just start making that the standard.
Just do that.
Just make that the standard.
What's wrong with that?
Because you're still gonna make your theater money. The whole production companies.
Like a year or so later, 6 months, 9 months later, release the director's cut.
And that's the thing is, people are still gonna watch it. People are still gonna watch it.
People used to release director's cut on DVD. What's the difference?
Right, and if you already fucking made your money off of it, what does it matter that you're gonna give me the?
You're gonna make more. Cut? Those people who watch it in theaters are gonna go, oh, there's more. I'm gonna watch it again.
Right, the people that truly enjoyed it are gonna watch it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it.
But with that one, we're gonna end it here because, like I said, we're gonna keep talking if we don't. But you guys know the drill. All the links are gonna be in the description or wherever you're watching this. It's gonna, just please share, follow everything. We don't got to go through the whole thing, but more big news about the show is going to be coming. It might have actually already happened after this episode is actually posted. But a lot of big things are coming with the show. We have so many great ideas for it, and we're just happy that those who do listen to us, we appreciate you. We appreciate all the support that we can get, no matter how small or how big it is. We very much appreciate y'all. So thank you so much. You guys the ones that keep this thing going. And thank you again to Melissa for driving all this way to come say hi and to come talk a little bit. And we will see you guys in a couple weeks. Peace.